It's Touring Car Masters. John Bowe, the former V8 champ, is starting from pole position. He has clean swept the poles all year. He's been very, very greedy. It's terrible of him. Jim Richards, 10.5 points coming into this race behind. He will not start this weekend, as we mentioned before the break. So the coast is almost clear, Paul Dumbrell, for John Bowe to win his third TCM crown in 4 years. Not the way we would have liked to have sorted it out, but it is how it's panned out.
No, absolutely. As I said before the break, would have been great to see those two iconic legends of the sport battling around this great track here at Phillip Island. But no doubt it will still be a really, really good battle, and there's a few really good cars in the lineup this weekend again.
Well, if you love muscle cars, you will love what you see in TCM. On board here with Mark King, we're going to check out his footwork as well. He's in a Camaro. He's all but sealed the Pro-Am title. There's 3 categories in Touring Car Masters. Andrew Medicki, there's a name that many of our fans will remember from Touring Car Racing, Open Wheeler Racing. He's done just about all of it. He's driving a Chevy Camaro, and he's going to start from position 7. So it's John Bowe on pole. Jason Gomersall will start alongside. First time we've seen him in that Tirana on the front row of the grid. And remember, in TCM, it's a rolling start too. So he who stands on the throttle first is generally at turn 1 first. And
Jason as well, that car being built by Jimmy Stone as well, the other half of the old Stone Brothers Racing as well. So it's good to see some really good iconic V8 team owners there getting involved in TCM.
And have a look at the mix. Mustang and Tirana on the front row of the grid. A Charger. Greg Crick won the last round at Bathurst alongside Andrew Fisher in the Falcon. You've got Mustangs, you've got Camaros, Monaros, Porsche 911s in there as well, with Sven Burkhardt, who has stepped into that ex-Bill Pye car this weekend. But have a listen to this. This is some heavy horsepower about to be unleashed. Final round of NZ Touring Car Masters for 2014. Slow. This is as slow as these things will go. They are built to get up and ride as they roll onto Gardner Straight. It's a 10-lap race. John Bowe aiming for the championship. Jason Gomersall, he's never been this far up on the grid. That SLR 5000 Tirana has got lots and lots of power. Wait for the green flag. We're good to go at Phillip Island. We're going to turn back the clock. Oh, drama in the background there for Cam Mason. The Mustang is pulling off. As we get the green flag, John Bowe gets the jump. He's caught them all napping on the run down to turn 1. On board with Medicki. He's by Andrew Fisher, but it's Bowe the clear leader.
Absolutely. Yeah, not quite sure what happened there on the start line. Maybe a drive shaft or something like that. Quite common for one of those to go. But no, big battle here. Good lead for Bowie off the start there. Great to see the rolling start. It's a little bit of a different dynamic, something that we don't see normally in the V8 supercars. It's good to see it working well here, and everyone seems to have got through the first 2 corners nice and cleanly.
It's generally worked pretty well this year for TCM. We're on board with Andrew Medicki through Stoner Corner. He sits 4th at the moment. It's Bowe, Gomersall, Greg Crick, then Medicki. Oh, Mark King's in pretty deep there with the Camaro. Left front was locked up. Made it around okay, and this is pretty normal. You don't do this in a V8 supercar, but in one of these, it's okay.
Jesus, the amount of opposite lock he had there, that was phenomenal. Great car control there, kept it on the track, which is good to see. Side by side through Siberia there as well.
Brett Yilden there, the green Monaro. Tony Karafinovsky in, I guess you'd call it a mustard Mustang behind, wouldn't you? Oh, look at this, kicking up the dirt on the run through Hayshed.
Oh, Nunes, look how good the footwork there is as well. You know, the viewers at home, you would see the footwork of a V8 supercar. Look at this here. Obviously, the brake pedal moving across, his footwork there. It's unbelievable. Great job there.
And have a look at how Mark on the throttle here for this little run in. Up a gear, now feathering, waiting to stand on it and open up the taps on that 1970 Camaro. These things really do punch out some speed. Yes, they're old cars. Tell you what's under the hood in most of them is pretty damn high tech.
I grew up wanting an SLR 5000 as my first car, so looking at here on TV, Nunes, you know, we grew up together, so we certainly know, oh, he's going backwards there.
He's been passed by a Charger though.
Yes, well, maybe I should have changed my car of choice. So, no, it's good to see that. It looks as though he might have a problem there, going backwards quite quickly there.
He looks a little vulnerable here too. Andrew Medicki on board the Lubrimax Camaro in position 4.
And you can see the different cars here, you know, the big, heavy Camaros, etc., taking a slightly different line to the other cars there as well, like the SLR 5000, quite a little bit more nimble and can carry the corner speed through the apex.
See behind Andrew Fisher in the Jesus Falcon. He's had a bit of a dabble in TCM. We know Andrew more so from his V8 Ute racing over the last few years. Of course, the Utes still to finish off. They'll be on the streets of Sydney in a couple of weeks' time. We jump back aboard with Medicki. Look at Gomersall here working over Greg Crick. That Charger won a race at Bathurst. It won the round.
This part of the track they're going through here is so quick. You know, the cars become so light through the hay shed here, and you see them come up around Lukey Heights here. Such a great corner, iconic corner of Australian motorsport.
You know you've done it wrong, PD, when you end up in the hay shed rather than driving past it.
And Noons, as you say, I've done that once or twice in my career as well, so trust me, it's not good to be out there.
I did not say anything. I wasn't leading it anywhere, but you took it there anyway. On board here with Mark King in the Camaro. Chasing down Keith Kasuki, in fact, in that big XB GT. He won the round here last year in that car. He's fresh back from a run at Highlands Motorsport Park in New Zealand last weekend in a GT car. That was a dirty entry to Gardner Straight from Andrew Fisher, but Kasuki's a little injured this weekend. He's a bit tender after a crash in the Ascari sports car in New Zealand last weekend, so just playing himself in. And Andrew Fisher there, out in the dirt, on the run to Gardner Straight, I wouldn't advise it. It's not the way to go through there.
No, certainly. These cars not having a lot of aerodynamics, but still, when you follow a car coming onto the main straight here, you absolutely, the front of the car just doesn't want to turn. It's quite easy just to understeer off the track.
And these cars are proof that motor racing is just as much a foot sport. We saw before with Mark King, steering these cars just as much with the throttle pedal as you do with the steering wheel.
Absolutely. Just looked like he was going to go down the inside there, but chose not to. Andrew, he looks like he's going to get a good run out of here, and he's really got to focus on getting a great run out of Siberia.
It's been a really good year of Touring Car Masters. They announced their calendar recently. They'll expand to 8 rounds next year, and they're returning to Simmons Plains in Tasmania. I know there's a lot of muscle car fans down in the Apollo, and of course John Bowe and Greg Crick 1-2 in this race. Both Tasmanians. Have a look at this. More dirt being kicked up on the run through Hayshed. Anyone who thinks that this is one of those demo categories is severely mistaken. No,
they're certainly racing for sheep stations here. You see the cars in the Parc Ferme after the race, and you know, there's panels being crushed, and you see some of the guys driving the cars, you know, ripping their hair out, seeing their babies come home a little bit worse for wear.
John Bowe's got that margin to 1.6 seconds. It's a 3-race format this weekend at Phillip. We'll bring you the final race of the championship tomorrow as part of our coverage. John Bowe leads the way, 3 laps down here at the island. Margin's 1.6. Greg Crick is hanging tough. He's not letting him get too far away.
And look at Medicki there, 265 kilometres an hour down the Wayne Gardner Straight. Unbelievable.
Oh, big off Jason Gomersall. The exit of turn 1. The Tirana has rotated there, bounced off the tyre wall. Oh, that's a fast corner to have it off, and the damage is not too bad, all things considered, what that could have been.
Absolutely. We haven't seen a replay of exactly what happened, but it's really easy through that corner to have a little bit of a tank slapper, and you come out and you overcorrect, and you end up in the outside wall.
He slapped all right. Definitely whacked the wall, and this is... now this is what we want to see. He's running third. Gone in deep, lost the rear. Uh-oh.
You know you're in trouble when you're going that quick. That's for sure.
Just gets where the tyre wall's got the big conveyor belt.
Great to see the tyres there as well. Plenty of years ago, there would have just been a concrete wall then.
Yeah,
so I would have seen back on the road, which is great to see.
They'll need to do a little bit of a repair job. It's knocked the back boot lid spoiler off the back of the SLR 5000 Tirana, but he lives to fight another day because that car went on a wild ride. John Bowe is out in front. He leads the way at Phillip. We'll take a break, we'll take a breather, and come back with more TCM action. Motor racing can be exhausting sometimes, but this is taking it to new levels. Brett Yilden here in HQ Monaro Port Umbrella has a little bit of an issue, and he's dragging a little bit of a drama around underneath that car.
Yeah, it looks like the exhaust of the manifolds maybe come off the front of the engine, and as we can see there, it's putting out a few sparks. Quite spectacular as well, Nunes.
Replay here, Paul. Before we went to the break, Jason Gomersall was running third, started on the front row, lost the SLR 5000 Tirana, blew apart a sign, and just slammed in front and then back of the Tirana.
Thankfully, he got the car going, though, so no safety car, which is good to see the battle still going on mid-pack.
He has made a trip through pit lane, but he has rejoined down the tail of the field. John Bowe out in front at the moment from Greg Crick. This is the fight for fifth. Mark King, Andrew Fisher, Tony Karamfilovsky, Brett Yulman and Bill Pye and Cam Tilley rounding out the top 10. Here is the Pro Masters points leader. He is a pro, he is a master, he's John Bowe. And that is the margin back to Greg Crick. So this time across the line, 6 down. We're just hearing from race control. This will be, in fact, the final lap. As it sits, there's some repairs required to some parts of the circuit before the V8 race this afternoon. So now we're on board here for the fight.
And this will be the challenge thing. The race control have come on the race channel and said that's the last lap, but maybe not all the competitors might know. Well, so
just go for it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
On board with Andrew Madicki. He's trying to round up Greg Crick for second spot.
It was about nearly a second quicker last lap, Madicki, than Crick, so he's certainly got the pace.
Well, so it was the fastest lap of the race, a 1:42.3 PD. Yeah. So he's paced very good. He's coming on at the right part of the race, but
that's quick. That's 3/10 quicker than Bowie's been all race. So actually, if the race had gone a distance, we might have seen another battle there as well. But going around Siberia here, it's really important to get a really good run out of here to go into the hay shed.
Just thinking off the top of my head, because it's a 10-lap race, 7 laps, we won't quite have done 75%. So I think it might be a half points race off the top of my head of the way that one might pan out. We did have that in a round at Bathurst a few weeks ago. But nevertheless, John Bowe's done the best job. He's been out in front and has built a nice margin on the run home in Touring Car Masters. And Greg Crick looks like he's done enough to grab second. Just quickly, are you back next year for the Enduros? Everyone wants to know.
Oh, let's hope so, let's hope so. Had a great time this year with Jamie and the whole Red Bull Racing team, and we certainly had a bit of success, which was good to see, but love Jamie to wrap up the championship, probably like what Bowie's going to do here in the TCM as well.
Well, I think you're on the fence there. Very well handled. This man's handled it well too. John Bowe takes the win in race 1 of NZ Touring Car Masters. The Mustang is home for its 7th race win of the year. He hasn't really dominated the race win sheet this year, but he's done the most consistent job over the course of the season. Crick and Madicki are next. There's Keith Kasuki, last year's round winner in the Falcon. He's home in 4th. High-speed pack of V8 muscle cars running on home. And Mark King, that will be enough for him to seal the deal in the Pro-Am title, which is one of 3 championships within the championship. So great job for him. Let's have a look at the highlights. Rolling start, Cam Mason in the Mustang pulling off. He didn't even get to the start-finish line for this one. John Bowe got the run going down towards turn 1 in this final round of the championship for the muscle car category. Jason Gomersall on the front row of the grid. Things would go a little wrong a little later for the Tirana that settled there into second spot. And this is standard stuff.
Great car control. Look at that. He's got more left-hand lock going around a right-hand corner than I've ever seen. So, and even there off on the main straight. Really easy to do there. Plenty of dust and certainly gets your eyes open.
Plenty of dirt being kicked up. Not afraid to explore the limits of this circuit. Then it went wrong. Jason Gomersall, the Ice-Seek Tirana, found the fence.
My favourite car in the fence.
It does need a little bit of a repair job before the final race tomorrow afternoon. He did get going again. He did finish in position 18, but it was car number 18 that did the winning. John Bowe picking up the victory here at Phillip Island. Let's recap the order. 3.7 seconds the margin to Greg Crick. Andrew Madicki, fastest lap of the race, right towards the end from Keith Kasuki, and Cam Tilley rounded out the top 10.